future iteration called the Landmark Forum. But it was in that moment where I saw it possible prevailing by people expanding the love footprint. Then another project, a month before the election, nobody else stepped forward.
Was there any moment that is a turning point when your story shifted from simply surviving to truly serving others?
I think I always was looking for a way to serve, right? And didn't quite see it. And then it was in that program, actually. I'll give credit to that program again. It was called the S Train. It was invented by a man named Warren Earhart. And I was just a participant, like thousands of other people. But in that program, my first time there, which was again 1983, I was watching, and I watched in this program. It was in New York City in a hotel ballroom, probably, I don't know, about 300 people. And I remember at some point watching people interact, and there was such acceptance in that room. Like people from all walks of life were all of a sudden truly accepting each other and cheering each other on and, wanting things to be good for each other. And I all of a sudden saw like, oh, the whole world could work this way. And so it was really my first time of seeing the real possibility of humanity being there for each other, 100%. And so I just said, okay, whatever this is, I want to provide this. So I got myself trained to lead that program. And that's what I did. So then for 30 years, I led that program and its future iteration called the Landmark Forum. But it was in that moment where I saw it possible before my very eyes that I became very committed. Okay, I want to lead this thing. This is what I want to do for the world. I want to bring this kind of peace and love to the world.
That's a big task.
Yeah, well, we can do it. I've got a couple of things, right? So there's that's why I want to promote this whole idea of love footprint, because I think it's something people can grab onto easily. We have a carbon footprint. We also have a love footprint. In other words, every time you and I have an interaction, suppose we interact with a clerk in a store for 60 seconds. When we walk away, we leave something behind. Do we leave resentment behind? Do we leave judgment behind? Do we leave argument behind? Or in the middle somewhere, do we leave indifference behind? Or at the other end of the spectrum, do we actually leave love, affinity, respect behind? So it's called our love footprint. And I'm inviting people to become aware that every time we leave an interaction, a clerk in a store, a 2-hour lunch with our brothers and sisters, working with a colleague for a year, or even 20 years of marriage, when we leave it, what do we leave behind? And I, for one, think it's pretty direct and simple in a way to pay attention to. So when I plan my day, before I think about all the interactions I'm going to have, and I go, what love footprint do I want to leave behind? So I plan it into my day. I plan ahead. What do I want to leave behind? And then when I'm done, after I leave an interaction, I give myself a grade. How'd I do? I rank myself on a scale of 0 to 5. Like, how'd I do in terms of leaving a love footprint? I think the point is, if we could get people around the world paying attention to their love footprint. So I founded the Love Matters Collaboration, and we're going to invite people to join it from around the world. Free membership, no cost, but I'd like people from every country to join it. And when you join the collaboration, I'll have you sign a pledge to expanding your love footprint. And I think we can that's one pathway we can have this become a grassroots movement around the world.
Wow, that's a big one. I want to Capitol Hill.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother thing. So if we get a grassroots movement for love prevailing by people expanding the love footprint, then another project I'm committed to and creating is called Love Goes to the Capitol. So 2 pieces of that. One, I just sent a copy of my book, Your Love Does Matter. I sent it to every member of the U.S. Congress, all the representatives and all the senators, and I sent it to the U.S. president and vice president. And I then sent them a message about, I said, I made sure they got the point that the book is not righteous. In other words, it's not a message called You Should Love More. That would be moralistic and insulting. It's not a Pollyannish book called, oh, we should all love each other. That would be a waste of time. It's a message about how their leadership can be effective, how love will have their leadership be ultimately effective, and they'll get to make the difference and leave the legacy they want to leave behind as leaders. So I've got that message going to every member of Congress and the President of the United States. I live in the state of Pennsylvania. Another project is we're going to go to the state capitol every week for a year. And I've got a group of people organizing, and we're going to go every week for a year and just do an act of love. So the first week I do some volunteer work with gentlemen right out of prison. So the first week we're going to take the guys that have been formerly in prison. We're going to go to the Capitol and deliver an orchid to every legislator. The next week we're going to take a group of trans teenagers up to the Capitol. They're just going to open the doors for legislators. No political talk whatsoever, just graciously opening doors, acts of love. And then the third week I'm going to take a group of moms up who are on food assistance programs, and they're going to deliver a letter of acknowledgement to every legislator. The point is, I'm committed we do that. If we do that for a year, a project a week for a year, we can infuse love into the political system. So we'll get a grassroots movement going, and at the same time infuse love into the political system. I think we can make a difference here.
Yeah, and we do need that, especially with our politicians. Have you ever been a politician before?
I've been a lobbyist before. So when I worked way back when I worked for and was a director of what was called the Connecticut Justice for Children Collaboration, that's when we first had to design a juvenile justice system, because back in those days this is in the United States in the 1970s, there was no juvenile court system. If kids got arrested, they went right to adult court and right to adult prison. So we had to really work to get a whole juvenile system set up. So we did that, and I did that as an advocate and a lobbyist. Then when I worked for the National Committee for Prevention of Child Abuse, again, I had to go in the United States, state by state, to get the laws passed that which would protect kids from child abuse. So I worked mostly as an advocate and lobbyist. I did run for office once myself here in Pennsylvania. I had an exciting time. I ran for a state office because there was a candidate who dropped out a month before the election. So nobody else stepped forward. So I said, okay, I'll do it. So I had a month to run for office. I was running against a 6-term incumbent. I didn't stand a chance. People predicted I'd get 18% of the vote, and I got 41%. So it was a victory in one way. I still lost the election.
Well, at least you tried.
That was my one venture into being a politician myself. But I find my voice is I am able to find my voice impacting the political system without being a politician myself. So I'm not thwarted by that.
Be safe and be positive. And don't forget to check out our social media handles. Thank you. Bye for now.